Hi.
Hi, we're live.
We are live.
We were doing the countdown, and I think I got it almost exactly on the second.
You did. Things to be proud of.
Mm-hmm. Hi, welcome. Happy summer. Hopefully you're in summer by now. And I think some people just started last week. Here in Arizona, we're like just past halfway. So that's kind of crazy. School starts in 4 weeks, which also crazy.
So crazy.
We have our youngest is going into kindergarten, so that is even
lots of crazy.
Especially crazy.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, we're just here to talk about what it's like being a math teacher during the summer, how you can get inspired at some point. We were going to say, if you just started your summer and you're like, what, next year, thinking about math, maybe you want to watch this video later. Maybe. Maybe you need a break. Probably, most likely.
And if that's you, like, a break is a good thing. No one's taking that away from you.
Or maybe you don't want a break. Some people are obsessive, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't feel guilty about that either.
No guilt.
No guilt. So where are we going to start?
Well, we wanted to show up this week and do 5 days of lives and just share small tips and ideas around summer math inspiration. I feel like as teachers, summer is our favorite time of the year in a lot of ways. And I don't mean just because like you're not doing stuff. I love the time of summer where you get to just dream and think about what the future year is going to look like. You get to have those ideas flowing in, and you don't have the pressure of like grading papers or going to an IEP meeting or staff meeting or parent phone call. Like you don't have any of those pressures. You just get to think about and dream about your classroom and what you want to do. And I love letting my mind do that.
Yeah. And if you never ever dream those dreams and think those thoughts, then those things will never happen. So, and summer, there are times where, I mean, I'm a total nerd. Teresa's a total nerd.
It's true.
And it actually is like a hobby of ours to think about this kind of stuff. That might not be true for everybody, but I don't let, people are like, oh, you should rest and you should be relaxing. But for some of us, dreaming about what our math class is going to look like is rest and is relaxing. So, or it might be stressful for you. And if it is, then, figure out how to make that work as well.
So our day one just conversation that we wanted to have with you is first giving ourselves permission to dream and permission to let our mind wander and think about the possibilities that the next year might hold.
And when you're doing that, you might think of a lot of different things, but maybe choose one focus that like, okay, I've thought through these different possibilities and there's just one thing that I want to be lights out, fantastic, amazing at this year, or just give it a try either way. But so we kind of made up a list of things we thought would be those kind of things. Like maybe you want to work on transitions and how things flow in your class, which I think is a good one to focus on for this upcoming year because we're coming off of a year where the transitions were crazy, right?
Everything was great, right?
So just maybe getting back into that routine and how the transitions are going to work. And you can find blog posts about it. You can see, talk to other people and see what they've done, but just finding ideas for that.
Right. I like that idea of flow. If that's the focus that you're like, yeah, I want to think about the flow in my classroom, that it feels smooth between transitions for students and they know what to expect. I think that's a great idea for focus. So other ideas for focus would be differentiation. This is something we talk about all the time, but maybe you're looking at your classroom, you feel pretty good about how things run, but you know that maybe more than ever, students are going to be in different spots. So having just kind of a mind towards differentiation in your classroom and what you want that to look like, that might be a really good focus to have.
Yeah, just are you going to differentiate throughout the whole lesson, part of the lesson? There's so many things that you can think about and focus on.
How are you going to build in student choice that gives you the flexibility to meet students at different places? Yeah. And once you kind of choose a focus, then the ideas start coming, right? You're like, oh, well, it could look like this. But we're just talking about that first stage of dreaming and kind of setting like what's calling to you right now.
Yeah. And this is where you get out a notebook. I love getting a new composition notebook and just start filling it out and doing that.
That's pretty nerdy to say. But when you said that, it made me really happy. I wanted to mention, sometimes in the summer, like other people are going to tell us things that we should be thinking about for next year, right? Like our curriculum directors or our principals, they all have opinions about what we should be doing next year. And maybe you're implementing a new curriculum or you're having a new setup to your school day. Those things all are part of the job, right? That just comes with the territory. So what we're talking about isn't necessarily in competition with that, but it's just your personal focus that no one else is imposing on you, like what you want to bring to the next school year.
Yeah. I think that I may have given the wrong link and that it's giving people like an invite to be part of the studio and to be a host. So if that is happening to some people, I am sorry about that.
So day one, there's always fun technical things.
So I will learn how to do that better in the future. Okay.
If you guys are here now, there's a few of you, go ahead and say hi in the comments. I think we're on a little bit of a lag, so it will take us a moment to get back with you.
I think it's a good, probably, I don't know,
so
10-second lag.
If you make a comment, we're not ignoring you. It's just going to take us a minute to catch you.
Yeah, if you just want to say hi. Okay, where were we?
So we talked about maybe flow is your word. Maybe you want to think about the flow in your classroom, maybe differentiation, maybe like incorporating more student choice and meeting students a little bit more where they are. What could be another focus area?
Math talk.
I love this.
So we spent a year with no one talking or talking through a mask. So maybe it's time to, brush off the math talk strategies, which there's a lot of, and they're fun. And that's really where you get to see what kids are understanding and learning and participating. So I think Math Talk is a great one.
That was one of my focuses a few years ago, was student talk. It was so much fun. And then I found there were a lot of different applications of that. That was something I could think about literally every day in my classroom.
Yeah, there's hardly a day where you don't want them to talk, except when you're giving a test, right? And it's like,
I mean,
don't talk. It's like
no
the
partner
opposite.
share.
Yeah, I got you so good at partner sharing.
Zip it.
Now you're all sharing during the test.
But the other days, right? Yeah. Maybe you want to think about inquiry, having students ask questions. How are you going to get students to ask questions and explore? That might be a good focus to let your mind go with. Maybe that's calling to you. Those real world applications, or just even how to get students generating more of the questions to think about what's happening in math. Another idea would be enthusiasm. We were talking about one of our good teacher friends the other day, and this was his focus one year.
So his focus was, or what he said, I remember him saying to me that enthusiasm is free and it doesn't take any talent. Anyone can do it. You can just choose to be enthusiastic. And even on days where you might not really feel that way, or you're not naturally an enthusiastic person. So he is not naturally an enthusiastic person, but he chose to put on that, to use enthusiasm in his classroom, and it made a huge difference, for sure.
Anyone who saw him interacting with students, that word wouldn't be surprising to them. That was his focus for the year, and you could tell. And it just kind of focused everything that he did throughout the year. He didn't do any crazy new curriculum stuff or change a lot about his classroom, but he brought that enthusiasm. And I thought, what a cool focus to have for the year. I really admired kind of how he carried that out.
Yeah, he's a journalism teacher, and he was internally, he was very enthusiastic, but he chose to share that enthusiasm with the class. And as math teachers, usually we're very enthusiastic about math, even if it's like in our introvert self inside. And it's like how can we share that with others so that they can also feel it and be a part of it?
So those are some ideas. Maybe some others just to throw out there would be like, maybe you're thinking about giving information and notes. You're really thinking about, oh, I want to focus on my direct instruction, my note taking. Maybe I want to do interactive notebooks. That could be a focus area. Or maybe I want to focus on the overall vibe in my classroom. I really want to be aware of the culture of my classroom. And that's kind of my personal focus for the year. Whatever it is, I just think there's incredible value in choosing a focus that kind of helps you as a professional move forward and kind of focus your learning and your attention for the upcoming school year. And like I said, this is something that lights me up. Every summer we would sit there, and Rachel's not kidding about getting a new composition notebook and just like dreaming and making lists and like, what's your word of the year? We did that one year as a staff. What's your word of the year? And
just kind of mapping things out
yeah.
and giving yourself that space whenever the inspiration is striking, which sometimes it strikes. Sometimes you might, have a day where you're really excited about it. You're writing stuff down. You might go for a few days or a week or 2 weeks where nothing's really coming to you, or you don't have time, or you're, so this is something you can go in and out of over the summer.
Yeah. So that's we want to encourage you guys to let yourself rest, relax, rejuvenate the summer. Absolutely. Everyone needs that. And give yourself space before you dive into any kind of planning for next year to dream.
Okay.
We are going to do 5 days this week. So we'll be here tomorrow at 9:30. Arizona time, which is Pacific Daylight Time, which is always confusing because Arizona, whatever.
It's the same time as Pacific time as California.
Right now. Anyways.
They only care about right now.
That's true. It's not changing this week.
That's right.
I hope. It's not.
Yeah,
so
it drives me crazy. So anyway, I'm like really mathematically minded, but when it comes to the time zones and Arizona not being on the same one all the time,
it's a thing. So 9:30, 5 days this week. Each day with just little tips, and we want to hear from you guys in the comments. If you watch this on replay, let us know. What are you dreaming about for next year? All right. Well, we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much for spending some time with us.
Have a good day.
Happy summer.
Bye.